Hello and welcome to Back to School Night virtually. This is AP Stat with Mr. Walsh, and tonight I will talk to you about how the class of AP Stat will be run throughout the year, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself as well, so you can get to know me a little bit. So I am a teacher, a coach, and a mathlete. I've been here at PHS for the last 7 years, and in those 7 years, I am also the boys' assistant soccer coach, as well as the math team coach. So if your child is interested in math team, they can talk to me. We can tell them all of the fun stuff that we do with math team, like all the game nights that we have, and the fun competitions that we run, team competitions, individual competitions. So I am the go-to man for math team. I have my bachelor's degree in mathematics and education from Rider and a master's degree in educational leadership. So I'm going to walk you through the AP Stat syllabus. You can find the syllabus on my Canvas page, but I'm going to go over it in some detail today so you guys can get an insight of what's happening in class. So the instructor is me. I am Mr. Ryan Walsh. You can email me at ryanwalsh@princetonkk12.org. And the website we're going to use is the Canvas website. And that Canvas website we are going to go over today at the end of my presentation. There are a few required supplies for class, which is just like any other class. A weekly planner is great to have. Some students like to use their phone to keep track of all their homeworks and assignments. Some people like an actual physical planner. Whatever works best for a student, but they need to find a way to keep themselves organized. I do give a lot of handouts, and those handouts are hole punched. So a 3-ring binder is pretty important for this class. And I suggest it should be a stat-only notebook. Students often misplace handouts and papers when they have a notebook that is full of other classes and not just math class. So I suggest they get a 1.5 inch binder that is stat only. They'll also need a pen or a pencil. I suggest pencil only because it's math and it's easier to correct your mistakes. However, I know that pen sometimes writes nicer. So as long as they're nice and neat with it, I'm cool with pen. The one thing I will not hole punch is assessments. So I suggest getting a 2-pocket folder so that when I hand back a graded assessment, they can put that graded assessment into their 2-pocket folder and have it. So when they start preparing for the AP exam or some sort of summative assessment in my class, they have all those graded assessments to study from. This year and last year, every student at PHS got a laptop. So they should bring that laptop to class every day. We will use it for simulations, for activities. We'll use it every day, some days for Canvas, do nows, exit tickets. So they should bring that laptop to class every single day. My classroom rules are very simple. Is basically just be a good person. Respect all of the interactions that happen in our classroom. Respect the people in the classroom. Just be a nice, kind, respectful person. Being on time is important as well because there is a lot of material to get through an AP Stat, and we are kind of on a deadline because this is an AP class, so we got to make sure we are prepared for the AP exam. So every class period is pretty full, from start to finish. So as the kids come into class, there will be some sort of do now on the board. So they'll walk in, they'll look at what the do now is. It could be as simple as sit with a partner. It could be take their homework out. It could be, put this data into your calculator. It'll be something simple, but it will get them ready and focused for a class that day. And last but not least is putting in your best effort. AP Stat is my favorite class to teach. No offense to my calculus students or my pre-calc students, but it's my favorite class because it's so applicable to every single day, especially as we currently live in a global pandemic. Data analysis is so important. So I hope that I'm able to get the most effort out of students because they're also going to be as interested as I am because of how applicable this type of math is to their daily lives. We'll look at everything we look at is basically real life data, and it teaches the students to how to think critically about data and try to make conclusions about what's happening based on what you see in the data. There are 4 contributing factors to success, which it makes up the 5 categories of grading. There is the watch, the do, the confer, and the assess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through each section of the grading policy and talk about what you might see as an assignment in each category. In the watch category, I'm talking about watching and interacting in the lessons, in the lectures, in the activities, being engaged in class. The do nows and exit tickets will be given to confirm that the students understood the activities or the lectures, and there could also be discussion posts on Canvas where students are reflecting or explaining their thought process. And that's key to having a deep understanding. So those are the type of assignments that could occur in the watch section of this class, which is 10% of their grade. Do is 20%. 20% of their grade is going to be a mixture of in-class problems, homework problems, collaborative work. They'll have homework in each chapter, but there'll also be in-class activities. We'll do a lot of, especially as we get closer to May, we'll do a lot of AP practice questions, free response questions. By the time the AP exam comes, the students will be prepared. So for those of you that do have a child who is taking the AP exam, I promise you they will be as prepared as possible for this AP exam. Not to toot my own horn, but Mr. Vita and I have been teaching this class for 7 years together. Everything that we work very closely together, and over the last 7 years, about 88 to 90% of the students who took the exam got a 4 or a 5 on it. So, usually our average is a 4.2 or a 4.3. So we get lots of 4s and 5s on this AP exam, which is well above the state average and well above the national average. Anyway, back to my grading policy. Next section we have is the confer, which is 15% of the student's grade. In this confer section, it's all about reflecting on your work and being able to communicate mathematically. So sometimes I will have students in small groups, and I'll sit with them and I will ask them questions to hear how they communicate mathematically to one another and to me. I will also read their test corrections. So there'll be times when they have a test, I'll give the exam back to them and I'll say, write down your thought process and then correct what is wrong and then hand it back to me. And that could go in this category, which is the confer category as well. We are looking to learn from our mistakes and prepare for, again, the AP exam, but more importantly, just prepare to make sure that we're understanding what's happening. Because, again, data analysis is a very important topic in today's life. And the last section is assessments. 25% is the formative assessment and 30% is the summative assessment for a total of 55%. You'll see various types of assessments: mini quizzes, chapter assessments, projects. Sometimes I'll collect a classwork. Sometimes I'll collect an AP for response question. There are different ways to assess students, and so you'll find various forms of assessment in these 2 assessment categories. The late policy. In AP Stat, I do have this policy where I will check the entire unit's homework the day before the unit exam. Okay, so let's just say that we're in chapter 1 and I'll teach section 1.1. I'll assign some homework, I'll teach section 1.2, I'll assign some homework, and I'll teach section 1.3, and then I will assign some homework. And then the day before the exam, I will check section 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. What that does is it gives the students some flexibility on exactly what day they want to do their homework. I know some students have busier days than others. A lot of our students do a lot of extracurricular activities. And I understand life gets busy, so I give them a little bit of flexibility on when exactly they want to do their homework. But it should be done before the exam, because that is when I will be assessing them. So they need to make sure that the homework is complete before that. So I will check all homework before the exam, and I will accept all homework up to the day of the exam for full credit. Once the exam happens, I will no longer accept homework or classwork or activities that occurred in the previous unit. So it must be completed before they take the summative test. In the previous year, last year, when we were virtual, we had office hours, and they were great. But now that we're back in school, we don't have official office hours. We just have hours that we're in the office. So my off periods for extra help for students, I'm off period 2, 6, and 7. That's on an A day, so that will rotate just like the students' schedule rotates. I'm at school at 7:15 every day, so if anyone wants to come into school early, I will be there. And then Tiger Time is every E-day. The last hour of the day is available for students to ask questions, go over tests, talk about any issues they might be having. My door is always open. The math office is room 234, and my desk is the first desk. You can't miss me when you walk in the math office. I'm right there. If any of these times don't work for your student and they need to see me, feel free to send me an email, and I will certainly set up a meeting at a different time to help your student out. Okay. Last thing, my Canvas page. Let's take a look at my Canvas page. You as a parent or guardian are observers on my Canvas page, so you should be able to see everything. You just can't do anything on my Canvas page. So if you go to AP Stat Walsh, you will see the beginning information. Here's all about me, and here's AP Classroom information. There is an AP Classroom website on College Board that I have every student join, because we use that website a lot as a resource. Here's the AP Stat syllabus that we went over. Here's the late policy we talked about, and then the formula sheet, which every student gets on every exam, and they get it on the AP exam. The one thing I didn't mention is the type of calculator that students should use, and I strongly suggest a TI-84. I know some students have a TI-83, which is fine. Some students have a TI-Inspire, which is fine, but I strongly suggest a TI-84. Students are not allowed to use laptops for the AP exam, so therefore we don't teach data analysis on Desmos or anything like that. We use the calculator, and then we interpret what the calculator gives us. So a TI-84 is great. And then what you'll see after the introduction module is all my handouts and activities that we have done in class. So here was the first module, and it was just the introduction, and we did some activity like dolphin therapy. So anything I hand out in class, I will also post on this Canvas page, and then all of my assignments. So here is the first chapter. Here's the classwork for chapter 1.1. Here's the classwork for chapter 1.2, and so forth. And then any handout and assignment is all on this Canvas page. Now, last year, Mr. Vita and I spent a lot of time making these lesson videos, and that's because we were virtual and we needed lesson videos. But now we already have them made. So we do teach in class, right? But I allow the students to see the lesson video. So if they think they missed something in class, they can watch the lesson video at home. If they are absent for a couple days in a row, there's a lesson video for them to watch, so they don't feel like they're falling too far behind. So because we spent so much time on lesson videos last year, I feel like I should at least post them on my website. So they're here. Here's the 1-1 video. Here's the 1-2 video. So you'll see all of these videos are just me and Mr. Vita teaching each lesson. Okay, and that is my Canvas page. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me via email. I will answer your emails in a timely manner. I'm sorry we could not meet officially tonight at Back to School Night. I usually look forward to seeing all the parents in my classroom, but hopefully next year we can get back to a real Back to School Night. Okay? Well, have a great night, and I'll see you soon.